when it comes to design, there's no better tool right now than Grok. Like this design that you're looking at here for this entire landing page, this took a one-line prompt in 2 minutes. 2 minutes to generate this entire landing page, which looks and feels pretty good. Even with this dashboard too, same thing. A one-line prompt in 2 minutes to generate this entire dashboard. Compare that against other AI tools and other AI design tools. There's really no comparison. So today we're going to intro you to Grok, talk about how to set it up, compare a Grok output versus a Claude Code output, and some other things too. Before we begin, check out our website, link in the video description, where I'm teaching Academy members AI workflow, design topics, and a whole lot more. Members also get access to some great downloads and private Slack channel access to me and the team. There's about 29 great courses there right now, and I'm always adding more to this, so be sure to check it out. Link in the video description. Also, come follow me on X. Link also down below. Designing with Grok. Let's dive right in. Now, Claude Code is all the hype these days. You might have seen some of my tutorials. You might be using Claude Code on your own. You might be using Claude Code at your company, whatever. And if you're using these tools like Claude Code, what's the biggest pain point to us as designers right now? It's generally that there's a high cost involved to using them, and you generally get AI slop by using a lot of these tools. And in order to fix that AI slop, you generally have to prompt and go through a certain structure of things in order to avoid that. And going through that process to avoid AI slop just increases the costs that you're going to have with all of these different AI tokens. And there's a reason why I'm introducing Grok. And we're going to touch upon that very shortly. But one thing I want to call out is just because you might be using something like Claude or Codex does not mean you should ignore more tools that come out, because eventually all these tools, they're going to be wrapped in some type of design interface. They're all going to have their strengths and weaknesses. And the designers that separate themselves out from the pack are the ones that are going to have a full breadth of knowledge of all the different AI tools at their disposal, what makes them unique, when to use them, and why. And if you look here, Elon even reposted it himself. And if you don't know, Grok is Elon's company's X's model and AI platform. Is Grok 4.5 is delivering Fable level performance, Fable being Anthropic's model, the best model that was very expensive, performance at 1/17 the cost. Enough said. Here we are inside of grok.com. I'll put a link for this down below. You do need to sign up with your X account, but as you can see, it's relatively similar to other AI tools that we've used, most notably ChatGPT. We have things like where you can generate images. If I go back here, oops, there we go. You can choose to build, which is what we're going to choose today. And this is new. And you also have skills and connectors too. So under connectors, you can see under show more, you can also connect Figma MCP, where you can push and pull designs from Figma. So it's a relatively early stage AI tool when compared against some of the others, but it has its strengths. What we're going to look at today is Grok Build. And this is brand new. And this is going to help us build designs in a way very similar to Claude Code did in its early stage. So what you're going to want to do here is just copy this command and then open up your terminal. If you don't know how to open up your terminal, I'm on a Mac. I just searched terminal and I opened that, and then I ran this command. And when you open your terminal, this is what you're going to see. So I'm just going to paste in that command, run that. It's going to go ahead, install its thing. Now, if you haven't installed it for the very first time, there's a small setup process you have to go through. It's super easy. It's basically just 2 clicks. So go through that. And now what we can do, we can either hit run Grok or agent to get started. So in this case, I'm just going to run Grok, as you can see here, enter that. And now you can see we're inside of Grok. Super easy process, way easier than it was with Claude Code first time around. One thing we're going to do now is we're going to run this exact same prompt here in Grok and then in Claude Code. We're going to compare the results. So build me a high converting landing page for a forward-thinking law firm. Let's run. Then we're going to run the same prompt inside of Claude Code using Opus 4.8, which is the model that everyone has access to. So let's go ahead, let's run. So we have the result back. Before I show it to you, I want to walk you through something here. A couple things. First off, so we have sort of the structure that it gave me inside the landing page. And if you look in the top right here, it only used 36,000 tokens. That's pretty good. And if we scroll down here even further, it completed in 2 minutes and 34 seconds. 2 minutes and 34 seconds to generate a landing page in the world of AI, almost unheard of. One thing I'm actually going to do is also say to run it locally. So we have that run locally. So I'm going to run that, and let's wait for that to finish and then also flip over. Oh, wow, it's already done. Look at that. If you ask Claude Code to run anything locally, it usually takes at least 30 seconds. And it looks like it only used an extra, 700 tokens? Pretty good. Let's compare outputs now. This here is Grok's output. For a very first output on such a very simple prompt, this looks unreal. I like the color choice. I like the feel of it. I like some of the glow patterns on the buttons. I like the hover effects. I like the banner at the top. In the prompt, we had specified a conversion-focused website. So we have this form here. We have this reserve a strategy call button, which is not something that, like this type of thing here, not something any average AI would introduce. As we scroll down the page, I think this looks really good for a very simple prompt. It doesn't feel too AI generated. So sure, there's some things that could be improved upon, but for the most part here, this is great for a first draft. Like, form looks great. I'm super impressed with this. Let's compare the Claude Code output now. And before I show you the Claude Code one, the Claude Code version took 89.9 thousand tokens to generate. Compare that against the 37,000 tokens with what we're seeing here at Grok. And the Claude Code version also took me like over 10 minutes to generate. And this here is what Claude Code gave me back. Very awkward animation. Things are not like in line. This is clearly AI generated. It feels off. It feels like I'm like reading some type of article. I don't even know. Like it's not a good result. It's a night and day difference when compared to against what we got here with Grok. One thing I want to do now is see how this translates to actual product design, because building landing pages and stuff is one thing, but it being good at building actual products is something completely different. So we're going to run this prompt, and I just realized here, I forgot the B in build. Sorry. Please build me a dashboard for a wealth management firm focused on high net worth clients. Clean, white, simple feel. Let's run. So we got a response back, or an output back, in 2 minutes and 13 seconds here. And you can see it used 49,000 tokens. Let's take a look. And this is the result that it came back with. Another super high quality result. Sure, I think the sidebar and the logo needs some work, but this is like Claude design level quality. If you know anything about Claude design, it takes a little bit of time, way more than like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 2 minutes and 28 seconds, however long that took. This year, great start. So we see I have a nice hover effects here too. It's thought through all the pieces of data that we need. Good looking table with a nice hover effect. This is awesome. One thing I did offline, just had to clean up the sidebar and swap the logo for that dashboard. Again, it took about, like you can see, 54 seconds, so not that long at all. One thing I want to do now, let's push this to Figma. So push to Figma, and you can see here that it says, do we want to install the Figma plugin? So we can just proceed forward with this. One thing I want to call out here is if you install like the regular Figma connector, it's not always great at connecting it directly to Figma. It doesn't have all the necessary skills. You usually have to do it inside of the actual terminal. And it's going to walk you through the steps here. You can see I had to manually install the MCP and I had to authenticate via inside of terminal. Super easy. I just had to hit /MCPs and just select Figma, then chose to authenticate. And it's going through and doing the rest now. And now we have this inside of Figma. Let's switch over to something like Cursor now. And in case you didn't know, Cursor was actually bought by SpaceX last month for billions of dollars. So probably going to be a lot of collaboration between Grok and Cursor in the future. And Cursor is also one of those places where you can also access Grok models. What I want to talk about now is sort of the differences in results that you get from using Grok, the platform, versus actually just using the Grok models, because they're not one and the same. And I'm telling you this because I know that a lot of us already have Cursor. I've covered it in the past. Cursor might have all our MCPs and stuff already installed. Maybe we don't like working inside of that Grok terminal. So this is another alternative. So here with the model that we have selected is Cursor Grok 4.5. And we're going to run this prompt. Please build me a dashboard for an energy tracking application. Clean, white, easy to understand. Let's run. And this is the design that it came back with. This looks pretty AI generated. It's not great. Now you're probably wondering, we're using Grok 4.5. Why did the design turn out this way? When we use Grok, the platform, it turned out completely different. Because as I sort of looked at it earlier, product design is very different than a landing page. So I ran this prompt too, please build me a landing page for a marketing agency. And it came back with this, but it's still, you can tell it just has that AI generated feel. It doesn't have the level of finesse that we saw when we generated something inside of Grok itself. And the reason why we're not getting a similar result is because Grok, the model, does not equal Grok, the tool. They're two separate things. I was chatting to someone a little bit earlier and they're like, oh, I'm not going to use Grok. I'm just going to use it inside of Cursor. You're going to get different results. Hey, thanks for watching this one and making it this far in the video. Going to have a lot more content coming on working with Grok and other AI tools. So be sure to drop a subscribe for that. Also, too, check out our website, link in the video description. Also, come follow me on X. That link is also down below. And if you want to watch a video where I build an entire design system, click in the top left. If you want to watch another video that I highly recommend, click in the top right. See you at the next one.